We have a team of reporters keeping an eye out for the conditions as we head into the evening. Frederick Price along I-40, talking with truckers, braving the elements, and Jalissa Garza here in Little Rock, seeing how drivers around the capital city are faring. We'll get to them in just a moment, but first let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Tom Brannon and Meteorologist Nathan Scott. Tom, kick it off.
Rolling, thank you so much. Wanted to demonstrate outside. Hey, precipitation is very light. It looks like it has ended so far here in the Little Rock area, but there's more out and about that we'll show you in just a moment. It's awfully crunchy outside. Our hedges are covered in ice, coated in ice. The little bridge we have out here is ice covered, and the rocks we have, but the pavement is just wet. That's going to change as we head through the evening hours. Let's go over the advisories that we have for you right now. And first of all, ice storm warning continues now through Thursday. Round 3 coming in Wednesday night into Thursday. The counties that you see in purple, including northeast, central, and southeast Arkansas. This is through Thursday. The advisory's been lifted here over northwest and north central Arkansas, and still a few counties over the southwestern part of the state with advisories as we speak. Most of the precipitation is now in the southeast, running along and south of the I-30 corridor, and you can see not much going on here in northwest Arkansas. We are keeping a close eye on the temperatures tonight because the temperatures make all the difference. Let's go to meteorologist Nathan Scott on what that could mean for you later tonight. Nathan?
Well, Tom, like you said, a lot of the pavement is just wet right now, and that's because the sleet fell, but the sun was still doing its job. Even though we had cloud cover, the sun was out, and the blacktop and roads absorbed some of that heat. Now we've taken away the sun, so therefore things are going to cool down in a hurry. Temperatures are below freezing across all of central Arkansas. So basically, any liquid out there, any slush will begin to solidify. Watch out for black ice, especially at the bottom of hills, along the shoulders, because that may not be wet and liquid. It could be a thin layer of ice that could certainly get you in trouble very quick. This is going to be a problem through the overnight and into the start of your Wednesday. We'll have more, of course, on the next round of winter weather coming up a little bit later. But for now, we'll send it over to Rolly.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Tom. Here's an example, even more, to talk about how dangerous an ice can be and how things can change so quickly. This is video from our partners over in Memphis where they caught a car spin out while driving over a bridge. You can see the mess that it can create quickly, as we've heard time and time again. Snow you can deal with when it's on the roads, but ice, a whole different subject. That's why we are keeping an eye on those roads for you tonight. THV 11's Ashley Godwin with that assignment. Monitoring iDrive Arkansas spoke to RDOT as well about what they are seeing. Ashley?
Hey, Rolly, yeah, this is the RDOT map for all the interstates right now. And as you can see, the purple is all ice, dark pink is those ice patches, and then the light pink is slush. So as the temperatures drop, we could see this purple go into central and possibly even southern Arkansas. But we actually just saw a new wreck pop up just west of Russellville right here. Let's take a look at that. Oh, wrong camera. Let's see. Just a second. We're pulling it up right now for you. But in the meantime, the metro is still seeing just slush, but with temperatures dropping, this could quickly turn to ice. So again, be careful out there. There are down power lines. There is an incident west of Whitehall. Oh, here we go with the truck pulled over into the median. It looks like it slid off from the interstates again. It can be very dangerous out there. You need to be careful. Drive with caution. Drive slowly. I just got off the phone with an RDOT spokesperson. He said, if you can, just stay off the roads.
Because I think people are looking out and thinking there's not that snowfall. You know, there's not 4 or 5 inches out there. Things must be okay. But once what's left of day, daybreak ends, it's really going to get cold and it's going to freeze up.
And here is some video of city roads in Little Rock. Our photojournalist Sam Belk drove around and told us main roads are fairly clear, but residential and side streets have slick spots and even some black ice. And we are looking at power outages. So here is that map. Dallas County and St. Francis counties are the ones who are having major outages. Almost 4,000 customers without power. So again, we're keeping an eye on this throughout the night, and we will keep you updated here on THV 11. Rolly.
Ashley, thank you very much. Now, while the majority of us are being smart and staying off the roads, some folks can't. Truckers have to brave these elements to get their loads to their destination. We saw that scene on I-40 just a little while ago. Here's another scene on Forest City area heading toward Memphis. That has another crash actually going on right now. Traffic stop between Widener and Park, and THV 11's Frederick Price has been talking with truckers along the I-40 corridor all day. Frederick, what are we seeing now that the sun has gone down?
Hey, Rolly, good evening to you. Yeah, we've been on Interstate 40 for much of the day, and a lot of the traffic that we are seeing are semi-trucks. We actually stopped at some truck stops too, and they are filled with them. At every pump, they were so busy at those pumps. But we talked to two truck drivers that were caught in that mess in St. Francis County near Memphis earlier today. It was a traffic standstill. They were able to navigate through that, but they have some advice for drivers who are wanting to be out on this road and don't really need to be. And if you guess stay home, you would be right.
Ain't nobody needs to be out here on these roads.
Sound advice from Jonathan DeVere, a truck driver. The winter weather putting the brakes on his trip to California.
This straight ice coming down, it's slick. It's about like trying to walk on a plate of glass that's been covered by Crisco.
Traveling along I-40 Tuesday afternoon, it didn't take long for the highway to become slippery. Early Tuesday morning, DeVere coming from Memphis and hundreds of other drivers stuck in standstill traffic in St. Francis County. Highway officials say 3 semi-trucks drove off the road. Another truck driver, Jose Hernandez, says he was stuck in traffic for hours.
It was just a bunch of trucks spinned out on the road. They lost control because of the ice.
He's heading from New York on the way to Dallas.
I was just trying to figure out what was going on, and my CB radio antennas broke because of the ice, so I couldn't get in contact with nobody.
Dozens of drivers like Hernandez stopping at this Love's truck stop in Hazen, refueling and figuring out what's next.
We continue on. We saw our sidewalks to make sure nobody falls. And we basically, we try to help them out. If they lost or need to do a detour, we try to let them know.
The manager here, Rodney Mosby, telling me he has enough fuel for the influx of truckers. It'll be a long night for DeVere. He's staying put until this weather system passes.
We're gonna get a shower, get cleaned up, play some cards, get some sleep.
Hernandez isn't taking any chances either. He's parked until at least Wednesday morning, but he has this message for other drivers.
If you see a driver, thank them. You know, whether it's a flatbed, dry van, reefer, or tanker, they play a part in our economy, you know what I mean? It's getting pretty bad out here, especially for drivers.
Back out live on Interstate 40. Traffic is moving pretty steadily, but I will say it was a much different story earlier today when we were traveling along I-40. We were in the middle of that winter precipitation and the roads did get slippery and slushy. As far as the truck stops, we talked to one. He says he has 55,000 gallons of diesel fuel, so no chance they'll be running out anytime soon. But truckers advising people to use caution around them. That is the latest along Interstate 40. We're going to send things to THV 11 Jalissa Garza, who has more on this winter weather coverage. Jalissa, good evening to you.
Hey there, Frederick. Good evening. That's right. As you mentioned, and as those truck drivers mentioned, driving on these icy conditions can be dangerous. And another thing that can be dangerous is being stuck on the side of the road, which is why first responders are working to make sure they're ready to lend a helping hand to whoever may need it tonight.
We're a 24-hour company anyway.
J Hook Towing and Recovery works around the clock most days to help whoever needs a lift. But when the roads look like this, they're busier than normal.
We've gotten a few calls up kind of north of here. We're getting prepared for the worst. And one thing about Arkansas, who knows?
General Manager Tim Moody says they've been working to make sure they have everything they need to brave these conditions.
Not only tools, they need warm clothing. These trucks that run off air, they got to have the air lines protected. You got to have de-icer. You got to make sure your tires are good. And you got to have chains ready to put on if you need to.
While this towing company, along with others, will be ready to help whoever, the National Guard is also on standby.
We've got snow chains in our vehicles, we've got chainsaws, and we've got tow straps.
Lieutenant Colonel William Phillips says they have guardsmen spread out across the state.
So we have roughly 65 soldiers and airmen on duty right now assisting stranded motorists. Our job is to help the state police, help keep the roads clear so that traffic can continue on.
Both Williams and Moody say they're unsure how busy the evening might be and urge everyone to be patient if they find themselves in need of some help.
You might be off in the ditch. You got to understand something. There's 100 more people waiting on a wrecker.
Make sure you have extra equipment in your car, blankets, flares, so that you can keep yourself safe and warm.
Again, the best advice that everyone has tonight is just to stay off the roads, stay home, and stay warm. For now, I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to you in studio. Rolly?
Jalissa, thank you very much. Very good advice. Of course, staying home tonight. Will the power stay on? Let's get a check of that from Tom Brannon.
Oh yeah, let's hope it stays on. Rolly still with freezing rain and sleet over eastern and southeastern Arkansas. Temperatures are at or below freezing here, so it's adhering to elevated surfaces, bridges, overpasses, your shrubbery outside, and soon roads will get in on the fix. Northern and western Arkansas right now, things are looking better. Coming up, we'll talk about round 3, when it arrives and what it means to you after the break.
And if you can't stick around for that, you can always text the word weather to 501-376-1111. You can get the latest forecast from the entire THV 11 weather team. We've got links to download our app. You can stay updated on the changing conditions and keep an eye on the bottom of your screen, folks. We've got those closures rolling in. Again, text weather, WEATHER, to 501-376-1111.